Thank you all for joining me this morning. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I'm grateful for that. My name is Kiah Imani. I am a developer advocate at LocalStack. LocalStack makes it easy for you to run your cloud infrastructure on your local laptop, mostly for AWS, but we also support Snowflake. Azure's coming up. But that's all I'm saying about LocalStack for now. Today, we are going to talk about developer experience. And I'm going to start off with a story. Okay, so I'm a developer advocate. I run a lot of sample applications, and a few weeks ago, I was setting up CI/CD for one of the sample applications that I'm working on. You know, deployment pipeline, GitHub Actions, container registry, the whole 9 yards. And if you've ever set up CI/CD, then or connected to any tool, you know the drill. You read the docs, you follow the getting started guides, you fumble through authentication, you find your configs, copy an example, tweak it, run it, it fails, and then you go back to the drawing board, right? Well, I have been learning about agentic AI, and I've been seeing on the interwebs how folks have found a lot of success using it to do like the mundane things like CI/CD. So I decided on this particular afternoon that I'd give it a shot. I already had an agent set up, my favorite, Claude. I like to call her Claude because she's really that girl. So I gave my agent the task of setting up CI/CD. And guess what, guys? It was done in 3 minutes. While I would have still been fumbling through configs and looking through the docs, it was done. And something really stopped me in my tracks. The agent didn't have to read the docs. It didn't have to go through the process that you or I would normally have to go through. It didn't do any of the tutorials. It didn't have to copy any sample code. It just read the API schema. It parsed endpoint descriptions. It read the error responses. And it just built the thing in 3 minutes. And my first thought wasn't, cool, let me just continue down the road. It was actually, how did it know how to do that? And the answer to that question is because the APIs that I was connecting to were machine readable. They contained open API specifications. They contained typed responses and structured errors. That made it easy for my agent to parse through everything. And then I realized that the platforms that I generally build don't have all of those things. And I'm willing to bet that the platforms that you all are building don't have all of those things either. And that is what this talk is about. Walk with me. So, the analogy I want you to carry through this talk is your platform is a restaurant. And you spent years perfecting the Uber Eats experience. Beautiful documentation. That's your menu on the app. Helpful SDKs. That's your pickup system. And it works. Human developers come in, identify which orders that they're supposed to pick up, and get it delivered to the right person. Simple. But here's the thing. Your next customer is a delivery robot. Who's seen these around? All right. So it doesn't need the same things that your human Uber Eats driver needs. it needs a machine readable format, AKA like a QR code. It needs a standard pickup process so that way it doesn't get stuck. And it needs a protocol to where every delivery service can plug in. And right now, we've poured everything into our human pickup experience and haven't even considered the autonomous pickup experience. And folks, this isn't something that's happening far into the distance. You guys see these delivery robots out here right now, especially on college campuses, if you live in a city. So, 72% of developers are using AI tools right now. And API integration, as I learned, is 10x faster with an agent. And Gartner projects that 40% of CI/CD pipelines are going to be managed by an AI agent in 2028. I also saw other thoughts that we may not even have CI/CD, but that's like beyond the scope of this talk, and it's kind of blowing my mind right now. All right, so here's the part that's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable. Most of your developer experience investment is about to become irrelevant. Now, I want to be very precise about what I'm saying here. So I'm not saying your docs are bad and nobody's going to use them. And I'm not saying your tutorials suck. I'm just saying that they're incomplete. The experience itself is incomplete. It's built for an audience that's about to become the minority of your API consumers. Not tomorrow, but sooner than you think. You've invested millions in this experience, but have you invested anything in the autonomous pickup experience? All right. On the left, we've got everything that we've already built for humans. We've got our docs, SDKs, API explorers, READMEs, all that's necessary. Don't tear it down. But on the right, we've got what agents need: machine readable schemas, structured error contracts, self-describing endpoints, and programmatic observability. You need both. The question isn't, should we stop building for humans? The question is, have we built for agents at all? Okay, so let's look at our delivery robot up close. It does not read your menu. It discovers APIs through schemas. It doesn't ask the host any questions. It parses through your error codes. And it doesn't complement your experience. It simply validates your response shape. Discover, read, reason, execute, and adapt when things go wrong. It's a fundamentally different consumer. And if your platform isn't legible to this consumer, you're invisible to the fastest growing developer in the space. So, how does this work in real time? Well, glad you asked. It's a loop. First, the agent looks at available tools and breaks tasks into steps. Next is the act step. It'll call the tools or APIs available with typed and validated parameters. Following that is the observe step. It'll parse through the response and validate against the schema. And finally, adapt. So if everything is great, it continues. If not, it'll either retry or escalate to a human. And that's the thing. You should change how you think about your APIs. The quality of the descriptions and the schemas directly determine how well agents can interact with your system. Your open API descriptions, they aren't just docs. They're your agent's brain. And it's literally the thing that is helping them decide what to do next, so be careful. Okay, so 3 technologies. None of them are new, and there are alternatives, but just to kind of level set and make sure that everyone is kind of following, we'll use ones that are most familiar to everybody. So we've got Open API, that's our QR code, right? And make sure that our agent can find our API endpoints. JSON schema, that's our order format. It essentially makes it so that we have a standard data model that our agents can consume. GraphQL introspection essentially is going to map our user experience to the restaurant's offering. Now, without these, your delivery robot is at your restaurant with no idea how to find your order. Okay, so here's where it all comes together. MCP. Raise your hand if you've heard of it. Whole room. Okay. So, Model Context Protocol. This is your universal pickup experience. Before MCP, every agent framework had its own way of defining tools. Every platform needed a custom integration. It was kind of like the early days of peripherals when each printer had its own connection system. Then, USB came along, then there was one protocol, universal compatibility. MCP does the same thing, but for AI agents. Any agent. It could be Claude, GPT, Gemini, your own custom agent. Your platform is on this side. Your databases, APIs. And in the middle, we'd have the glue, MCP. Once you expose your MCP server, suddenly any agent in the world can navigate your pickup experience. MCP is to agents what peripherals were, what USB was to peripherals. And if you take one thing from this talk, guys, ship an MCP server. Okay, so what happens when you don't build that pickup window or pickup experience? Something went wrong. We all know this one. That's an error message. What's the agent supposed to do with this? It can't diagnose. It can't retry intelligently. It can't recover. The agent loop at this point breaks at observe. You've got undocumented endpoints. There's no open API spec. The agent can't even discover your API. It's not even hard to use. It's invisible. The loop breaks at plan. Auth requires a human. You've got an OAuth flow in 2026 that requires a browser redirect. Shame on you. The agent can't authenticate. It's like you put a lock on your pickup window that needs a human to come and open. And I can guarantee that every single person in this room has at least one of these issues right now. Okay, so enough about what goes wrong. Let's talk about what goes right. So we've got the 5 steps. Each one is an iteration of the agentic loop. Each one depends on a machine-readable interface. Now let's actually watch this happen in action. Oops. Okay. All right, so what you're about to see is an agent running against local stack. So there are real Lambda functions, an API gateway, CloudWatch logs, all of that running on my laptop. So the scenario here is there's a Lambda function behind an API gateway, and it has a bug. The agent is going to find it, diagnose it, fix it, and verify with zero human intervention. Let's go. Okay, step one, detect. So the agent probed our endpoint with an edge case. So value equals 0. It gets back a 502. Something's broken. Now it went straight to CloudWatch and found our structured logs, and it pulled our error trace. So we've got here a 0 division error. Now it didn't go and Google that. This was coming from the logs because our logs were structured. It pulled that through the API. Step 2, diagnose. Now it's parsing that error signal. Look at this diagnosis here, guys. Can you all see that? Okay. So we've got the function name, we got a line number, exception type, severity, fixed class, all of that. The confidence in this error is 100%. It's a deterministic bug. So our root cause is identified. Let's move on to step 3. Now, here's the patch. So here's our old code and our new code. It added input validation. It checks to see if the value is 0. It returns a 400 with a structured error message instead of crashing. And notice it didn't rewrite the whole function. This is a minimal patch here, and our happy path is unchanged. In step 4, we're deploying, packaging our artifact, uploading to S3, and updating our Lambda function code. And our Lambda's updated. And look, it wrote our deployment record back to DynamoDB. Finally, in step 5, we are going to verify. Now it's going to reprobe that same endpoint. And now we've got, initially we had our 400, value cannot be 0. Now we circle back to our happy path. 200, result is 20. All that happened in 197 seconds with no human intervention required. Detect, diagnose, fix, deploy, verify. 197 seconds, 0 humans. Okay. Let us go back. If I can figure out my mouse. Most teams are somewhere between AI assisted and Copilot. So it's like a restaurant that lets delivery apps scan their menu, but you have to call and place an order to pick up. The destination here is autonomous, folks. Now, this is not somewhere you've got to get today, but it's the direction we need to be moving towards. We need to make sure that agents can discover, integrate, test, and deploy independently, only escalating to humans for policy decisions. All right, tactical time. So there's 5 things you can do this week. One, publish open API specs. If the agent can't discover it, it does not exist. I'm not playing. It's like not hard to use. It's invisible. Step 2, add JSON schema or something like it to your request response bodies. We're looking for typed contracts. Step 3, structure your errors. This is one people underestimate. Something went wrong is a death sentence for the agentic loop. Give the agent an error code, a retry hint, and a suggested fix. 4, this is the new one. Ship an MCP server. That's our automated pickup experience. It's not hard, you guys. There are SDKs for all, any language that you could think of. TypeScript, Python, Go, C#. Ship an MCP server. You can even use AI to do it. You could vibe code it. And 5, expose observability as an API. If your metrics are dashboard only, agents can't close that loop. And here's the beautiful thing. All 5 of these things also make your platform better for human developers too. Machine readable interfaces are just good engineering hygiene. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. We're not trying to automate ourselves out of jobs here, guys. So how I see it is agents are going to be doing the routine work, the deployments, dependency updates, test generation, the stuff that burns people out, the boring stuff that none of us really like to do, but we just have to do. While humans focus on architecture, policy, the work that requires judgment, creativity, and empathy. The rockstar developer using your platform might be an agent. And that's not a threat. It's an opportunity. A year from now, an agent's gonna be trying to use your platform, and what will it find? A line at the pickup counter? Or a platform that's ready for its new rockstar developer? Build a pickup experience. Ship the MCP server. Thanks.
That was awesome, Kiah.
Thank you.
Do you want to take a couple questions?
Yes, absolutely.
We got a little time. Anybody
I got
a
plenty
question?
time.
We got a couple over here.
Thank you for the talk. And you pointed out some of the existing pain points. So I have a specific question on one of the pain points,
Sure.
which is MCP servers that are generally getting shipped from vendors and others. They're not all coming with OAuth. That's one pain point.
True.
Second is, in many cases, orgs have OAuth experience set up where it does require browser pop-up, someone clicking a button. So is there any recommended pattern to avoid that so that we can have autonomous agentic platform? How to avoid that?
That's a great question. So I personally never roll my own auth. I think that's a good practice to follow. I generally like to use an identity provider. And most of the popular ones have, like for instance, Auth0 or Okta have AI-focused authentication and authorization, so that way you can avoid having that browser redirect for your agentic workflow. So, there are plenty. Auth0 is one. There's Clerk. There are a number of others that have specific AI-focused auth workflows for that. Yeah, sure.
John Willis has a question. Be nice, John.
I want to answer your question, but I want to tell you that I'm glad I spent the morning with you. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. And look at the Agent Gateway from Solo.io. Yeah, they're doing some really fun with Spiffy and stuff like that. So, but that was really just a fantastic presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was very kind. Thank you, John. Anybody
we got
else?
one
Maybe
more
one more?
Yeah, thanks for the great presentation. It's really wonderful. Like a question on the agentic platform itself and the agent itself. Do you have any recommendation on where these agents should run, and is it a proven platform? And what if the agent itself failed to run due to any infrastructure issues?
Can you repeat the last part of that question? So,
yeah. First part of the question is where the agent should run. Is there any proven solution that where the agent is deployed and continuously training the agent? Agent should continuously get trained, right? In some cases, agent needs to get trained. It's like continuous integration and continuous deployment in regular. And how about continuous training and where it needs to be deployed and how it needs to get trained?
That's a good question. You know, I don't really have I don't have concrete answers on that right now, but that is something that I'm absolutely researching at the moment. If you want, we can.
That sounds like an open space talk. Are you going to hang out for open spaces today?
Yeah.
Because it's not. That's like an industry thing.
Sure.
How old is MCP at this point? 8 months or something. It's not 2 years yet. I don't think.
No, it's about 2024. So
yeah, it's still kind of a baby, but it's coming quick. And I've got some debate on MCP, and you made some good arguments. You got me reconsidering some things. So this was super helpful. Let's hear it one more time for Kiah, everybody.
Thank you.